Hello, I'm Grant Nelson, and this is Rural Reflections. I need to tell you how I came to this story one step at a time. Otherwise, you won't understand it. You may not understand it anyway. I may not either. I was driving home from work when I saw a car hit deer lying dead along the highway. Even though it was no longer alive, I thought its shape was still incredibly beautiful. I'm an animal lover. However, I believe this appreciation was more about life. I thought about how elegant the deer's shape was and their rich brown color, and it didn't really depend on any external energy. This was sustainable for a time, even after death. I thought about the assertion that all life is random and that even life's design was random. I thought how this theory required no effort to hypothesize and that it was a little uninspired. A little more effort and thought and introspection could reveal so much more. Now, the infinite monkey theorem states that a monkey hitting keys at random on a typewriter keyboard for an infinite amount of time will almost surely type any given text, such as the complete works of William Shakespeare. I suspect this has more to do with explaining mathematical chance. However, I've heard this little theorem used to support the idea that all life is random. I live my life more by what is probable than what is possible and apply this same standard to the design of life. It seems to me that if all life is random, then the chance that one person, Shakespeare, would be born and write Hamlet or Romeo and Juliet would be even greater than an infinite amount of monkeys performing the same act. In other words, we would still await Shakespeare's first writings. Meanwhile, those infinite monkeys would be top sellers on Amazon or would quite possibly have their own section at your local library. I think that without coordination of efforts, the world we live in would be impossible, even with infinite resources. Imagine being on a school board with an infinite number of members with an infinite amount of time, all working independently without leadership or structure. Can you imagine getting much done? Can you imagine creating the world using such a business model? There has to be a greater power in charge of it all. I think there is a hand in all this glory that we take for granted. I think there's a purpose for minerals hidden in the ground, and the magic of chlorophyll and photosynthesis, and even the internal struggle of forgiveness, patience, and tolerance. To be able to easily feel compassion and understanding while struggling to define these same emotions suggests to me that they are planned within us before we're born. What I am suggesting is that God is real, and that he is not a long bearded man sitting on a cloud, but that he's beyond our definition, even though we see him everywhere, even in the sad sight of a car hit deer. I'm Grant Nelson. This is Rural Reflections.